Hey makers, let's make a mermaid. Welcome to Mixed Media Headquarters. If you're new here, I'm Donna. I started this channel to inspire and motivate people who want to create more, do so through organization tips, simple design ideas, and a behind-the-scenes look at how a working artist gets it done. We're going to start out with our ocean background. I'm squirting my paint right on the canvas, as I tend to do most of the time, and I'm using 3 colors of blue and white at the top, the darkest color at the bottom, and then I'm doing a little ombre technique where you paint going all the way up and then all the way down and then all the way back up. The key to a successful ombre variation is to go all the way up and all the way back down. Never skip from the bottom to the top or the top to the bottom, or you're going to lose the variation. And once your canvas is completely dry from the first technique, we're going to get just a little bit, we're going to use a very, very wet brush and get a tiny little tip of white on the very end of our angle brush. And we're going to start from the top and work down just kind of a straight line. Look where you want your hand to go, not where it's been. You can use some towel to blot if the paint gets too heavy in places. Just let that angle brush do the work for you. You want water in the bottom part of that angle and paint only at the very tip, and you see how it creates a grade of paint, and it just gives the illusion of a ray of light. If you create one side and another, you can do multiple rays. You could do just 3 or 5. I did 4, which kind of goes against the rule of 3s and 5s, but it still worked. Pick your canvas up to give yourself more control. And once that dries, we'll start laying out our mermaid. I recommend doing sort of a little dot of glue to position her hair and make sure your arms are right, and then move the hair out of the way to get your arms in position, and then do the same thing for the waist and the tail. Once you have your hair sort of centered, you can figure out the positioning of those, move your hair out of the way and get them glued down. Once your tail, your waist, and your arms are glued down, then it's time to start working on your hair. But go ahead and take the time to get your tail completely done. You can place the hair back in place and make sure you got it going on. You got a little work time before you won't be able to move those around anymore. Once you get the big base hair shape down, glued down, you can start working on the little pieces. You can arrange them however you like. You can use as many or as few as you want. Make sure you have the bubbles pushed out of that larger piece before you get too many of your other pieces down. And while your paper is still pliable and your glue is still wet, you'll have a little bit of work time again to pick up and reposition, layer, do whatever you like with the hair. At this point, I've made several of these mermaids and the hair turned out a little different every time. I'm adding my words of wisdom at the top here, but for more ideas about words, you can refer to our basics video. To make bubbles, I've loaded the paint and water on my brush just like we did for the rays of light, and I'm just doing a little circular motion. Easy to pick up where you have too much paint with a paper towel, and we're going for transparency here. Smaller bubbles, I'm creating a little circle of water with my brush and then just adding a little paint around the edges and blotting it. If a bubble turns out like you don't want, you can use a baby wipe to just wipe it all the way off of your dry canvas. And if you want to take it a step further, you can use a little watered down black to create a shadow at the bottom of your bubble. Keep in mind that your acrylic paint is going to lighten up as it dries. Let my glue dry before I add any more bubbles. In this version, I created some layered stencil at the bottom for fun, and I'm adding some glitter. And final touch, a little jellyfish cut out of paper. Be sure and check out the related videos linked below, and I'll see you in the next design.